we start with, I mean, you get the clean sheet, you had season high 7 saves, and defense, defending better has been one of the bigger emphasis since Omid's come in and really throughout the season. What did you guys do better from your perspective in this game last Saturday?
For me, it comes from an organizational side of things, not leaving gaps in between our defensive line, midfield line, forwards line. And really for us, just working as one unit and just one team. The ball goes up, we all move forward. The ball comes back, we all move together. So for me, that was a huge step for us in terms of our defensive organization and just whole season.
Yeah, and I mean, you had kept one other clean sheet before, but it certainly seemed like this time around you were much busier. As you said, you made that 7 saves. And so what does that do for not only your confidence, but the team's confidence going forward?
It does wonders for the confidence. Before the game, we said the way that we win this game is by keeping the 0. At halftime, when we were up 1-0, number one thing was said: we keep the 0. We're going to win this game. So it's a good building block for the team to get the shutout. Brings confidence not only to myself but the defenders and the whole team. Like I said, so we're going to build off this, and we're looking forward to San Antonio next week.
Yeah, so at halftime, you obviously have the clean sheet at that point, and it's been that second half, especially the late goings that have kind of been brutal to you guys so far this season. Was that in your mind at all in that second half, and kind of what did you say to yourself to keep it going?
It's actually funny you say that. I would say in previous games it was in my head, but for some reason, just this game, I kind of was just zoned in. I was locked in the game, and I actually was not thinking about that. And give credit to the guys, and maybe karma was on our side this time. You don't think about those things, and good things come your way. And I think the more that stays out of our minds, and more of let's finish this game out mindset, I think more wins and more points will be had.
Yeah, and I mean, additionally, brutal conditions, a lot of heat, and really tough field to play on. And how do you sort of adapt to that? And what does it say about the fitness level of the group right now?
Yeah, I mean, every game has its unique challenge. So this game was definitely the heat. And for us, every away game is difficult. Add the heat, makes it more difficult. So I guess just give credit to the guys and coach doing extra runs at practice, getting us prepared tactically for the game. We knew it was going to be hot, so at the end of the day, it was a mindset, and we got it done.
Yeah, and finally, sort of we've seen it get to this point before this season. What we haven't seen yet is a real string of 2 or more wins together. So what do you take from this week and a great performance like this in order to go into another tough environment next week and try to get that result?
Well, we touched on it earlier. It gives us confidence. Yeah, we got one out of the way. We were on a little bit of a skid there, so it's good to get that over with. And if you look at Tulsa, they've won 4 in a row, and now they're in a good spot for playoffs. So with 13, 14 games left, the same could be said for us. And we just got done with our first game, and we're going to take it week by week. But we're looking forward to the rest of the season.
And lastly, this won't be announced till 2:30, but you got Team of the Week this week.
Oh, nice, awesome.
I know you'd trade an individual award for a team achievement any time, but do you have any reaction to that?
No, just happy for myself, happy for the team. You can't shine a light on one person. It's all 11 guys out there, but definitely I'm happy. I was not seeing it coming. To be honest, I kind of stay away from that kind of stuff, but happy to hear it. Thanks, guys.